Welcome to the Spool podcast. Unwind with Dr. Nils Roemer, Dean of the Bass School at UT Dallas.
Hello everyone, we're so thrilled to welcome a much anticipated guest today, Jinny Cho, who was highly desired for many reasons, partly of the things that we're going to learn today, but also partly because of what is in front of me. So let's be honest, there is an ulterior motive here at play, and it's kind of shows itself there. So if I look a little distracted today, there's any number of not just delicious, but also immensely nutritious, nutritious things in front of me. But let's go insofar as I can focus here, just stay with you a little bit. So you're an alum from UT Dallas. You got your degree in biomedical engineering in 2016. And then shortly thereafter, at some point, you became an entrepreneur and a maker and doer of incredibly delicious donuts. I had my wife sent out earlier today. My whole family is drooling at home over those. And so then as I was coming here, I was preparing myself and I thought, oh my. So I'm going to face someone who makes mango sticky rice flavors to pumpkin mascarpone and even orange cardamom hazelnut donuts, and that's just the beginning of it. But before we get into this, just a little bit about donuts and the kind of making of it. So the simple version is, I'm at home, it's a yeast-based dough, right?
We do yeast-based and cake.
Yeah. So the yeast-based one, if I were to make it at home, I would either have good utensils or I really would have to lean in there, right? Because you have to knead it for a while?
You do have to knead it, yeah. We actually didn't get a sheeter for the longest time, and we would roll out all of our doughs like by ourselves, and my back started hurting a lot, and I was still in my 20s. I was like, this is a problem. We have to get a sheeter.
Otherwise,
so yes, the kind that you roll out.
And then the simple version is you roll it out, you let it rise, then you fry the heck out of it, and then you drown it in sugar. That would be the short and dirty version of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yours is very different from that. So maybe just let's randomly select one, and you tell me what you did with, let's say, this one here.
Yes, yeah. So that one is the mango sticky rice.
Can we just take a break right here for a moment? I'm ready. I have my fork and knife here. So in other words, it's sticky? Sticky rice, you said?
So something that I do is, even if it's not the exact bits and pieces of what we are referencing, what's important to me is how the donut makes you feel and what it helps you remember. Mm-hmm. And allowing the customer to view donuts, which used to be, like you said, like a very simple thing. Yeah, see it in a different light. So is it sticky? Like, yes, because there's like chocolate and stuff on there. With sugar, yes, it'll be sticky, but not in the sense that it is the sticky rice, which is what the sticky part of the actual dish.
But it references of sorts.
Yes,
and so maybe if you don't mind, so we talked a little bit about you as being part of the campus community studying here, but then there's also the other side to you. You're originally Korean. Mm-hmm. And so part of what, these references suggest is that there also is kind of an interesting fusion of different things occurring in these, you can roll them around in these donuts here, right? Is that what we're looking at, that you're looking to explore different taste traditions here as well?
Yes. I like exploring different cultures and primarily through food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just love food. I think it's like one of the best things about being alive. So we enjoy making donuts that our community loves, and craves.
But just so that everyone understands how much passion is actually required for this, in order for you to open your shop at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, you start your day when?
Do you really want to know?
No. Let's put a time to passion and love, right? 3 a.m., 4 a.m. When you begin? Midnight. All right. And you start your midnight with a donut just to kind of get you going? Or a little later?
A little bit later, but I do pretty much 100% have one every day. It's so, but I'm like, well, I'm a donut shop.
You may as well.
I
right.
can, you know.
But it also, I mean, part of what makes your shop so attractive, we should just actually name it, Detour Doughnut. It's out in Frisco. It's along the 423, just the 423 and Stonebrook, roughly, right?
Yes, it's like right in between Frisco, Little Elm, and the Colony. Yeah.
So part of what I think also keeps people coming back, because, you know, obviously there's competition out there. You're not the only ones. You constantly change your... So that requires you also to constantly explore new opportunities, right? Because you're changing your recipes. Is that right?
Yes. Always to make it better, always to explore more, and respond to where everyone is at the moment. Like, let's see, last Super Bowl and this Super Bowl. So for like cultural events, like we like making donuts for that as well.
So big, like Super Bowl or Valentine's
or
Christmas
even like the
or
Barbie
whatever.
movie.
Okay.
You know, we made like Barbie like logo donuts. We make Super Bowl donuts, and I don't know if you know this, but one of the Chiefs players, Kelsey, is dating Taylor Swift.
Right, we do.
Yeah.
we do know. Anybody has missed this one? They're nodding. All right.
Yeah.
So, but now get us back to the donuts. What did you guys end up doing?
Yeah. So we made. We make donuts for like both teams, and football donuts. But for the Chiefs, we also made like a separate Taylor Swift donut, like a jersey donut. But in the form of a heart that said 13, which is, I'm not a Swiftie, but it's apparently her favorite number.
Part of what I was wondering, donuts. I mean, we started out with you studying biomedical engineering. From there, you know, the way the dean of the School of Engineering has it, there's not a direct career path to donut making, right? And not every graduate will say, now I've learned everything that I need, and what I really want to is to make donuts. So why donuts?
My parents had donut shops growing up. That's their, business that they decided to do after we immigrated here. So I too was born in Korea, and I came here when I was 7. Probably around the time I was in middle school, they really enjoyed having donut shops. So donuts has been in my life for like a really long time.
But there's, something really fascinating. I mean, obviously, immigrant communities have really taken to donuts, right? So there are any number of donuts.
Especially here.
Yeah, especially here. I think you had an earlier phenomenon in California, where I think the Cambodian,
Did you watch Donut King?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I was gonna watch it, and I think I know how. I'm gonna have something in my hands from one of these plates. But there's something, I think, more generally speaking, we could say it's like the dream of American entrepreneurship, opening up a donut shop. Has a smaller threshold because you can open up your individual store. You don't have to have a big be part of a big chain. And then I think from the little that I gathered,
true.
And then it's also true that I think unlike other restaurants, the initial investment is not as big.
Correct.
But then the other part, which I thought is interesting, which I think you said in some interview or another, you just said it. Yes, my life has been with donuts. Because it's this multi-generational aspect of it as well, right? Multi-generational, that many of these donut shops, I mean, you said, well, you started what was shortly after midnight, but it allowed families also to stay together and work together, right? That you could run a shop like that, but you could do the parents, you, maybe grandparents. So it's something that there's an incredible appeal to this particular way of making your money. And you, I think in one interview said that the Korean community has a whole network also if you need something fixed or so, in terms of your shop of sorts, right? So there's like a bigger story about why certain immigrant groups gravitate towards certain economic opportunities rather than others. And so I find that fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's
Donuts,
absolutely fascinating.
Donut, there's a very unique story about, and it's also this chain movement. Like once you have, like you mentioned Cambodia, once it started, but and then it just kind of created a whole immigrant community that worked around it, and so we have some version of this as well. But in other words, for you, this is tasty, but it's also being part of your family tradition, but also part of, therefore, of sorts, your wider community tradition. So is that allowing you to be all of your various selves together in one when you do this? Is that?
Yes, it's very personal.
Very serious, apparently,
Yeah, it's like walking into like my past and my present and my future every day, which is like kind of overwhelming for like just a job, because
and also daily to have that, it's a lot,
Yes, yeah, it's like you're reminded of just like a lot of memories in like a single day, so it can be pretty overwhelming, but I think that's what makes this chapter of my life, like having something as personal as Detour, really special.
Is that also a little bit where the name comes from, a detour, kind of turning back on yourself and your past or your family traditions? Is that what hangs on the detour? Or?
No, Detour, one of our sayings at the shop is take a detour, which basically, I mean, I hate to be cheesy, but like, kind of like a life like motto in a sense, like you can, you can take a different path, you can make your own path, you can, take a detour wherever you want, which does reflect kind of how I ended up here, like even like in this room, it's like, what am I doing here?
Looking at donuts,
So, I was doing biomedical engineering and graduated from that. And then like less than I pretty much started not like creating Detour right away, but just the path to opening the store 2 years later pretty much started right after I graduated.
So today you're running obviously the donut shop. I think you're obsessing also a little bit about coffee. Could there be that? So there's donuts and there's coffee, right? Yes. So you also want to make sure that you get your coffee right. But then it is a small shop, but you're also doing small events in there as well. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. We do this story time for the kids. It's a free community event that we run with our in-house librarian, Marcy.
All right.
Yeah, she's a retired librarian and a published author.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah, she's fantastic. So every Friday at 10:30, she reads a book and we do a little craft. It's pretty simple. Yeah, that's all.
Well, that's quite a bit, right?
It is quite a bit,
So coming back to your studies, though, I think, we're in the humanities, but I would imagine studying biomedical engineering is a lot about research and a lot about exploring certain possibilities. So is that kind of rigor of that sort of research, is that what you're applying to these donuts, of thinking about different shapes, different decorations, different tastes?
I did used to say, so I spent like 3 years doing research here. So at like one of the labs, I just worked for one of the graduates and professors, and I did used to say that it is similar in some ways, just because you spend a lot of time by yourself in the lab, or at least I did.
Right. Well, and probably if you wake up shortly after midnight, you also spend quite a bit of time alone in your donut lab, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's different though, because science, like, research is certainly, it's very long. It can years, like it could be a lifetime, for someone to work on something. I think what I really love about donuts in that sense, and like basically making an idea like come to life, is like that, like research, development, and that it's just as short as I want it to be.
And then all the way to the moment when I guess a customer comes in, picks it up and says, "Oh my God!" Right?
Oh yeah. And the response, and the just the turnaround for like, here's what I put into the world, and here's what the world is saying about my work, is like it could
It's
be a
very
day
I can see that. That's really exciting.
It is.
Unlike some other things, sometimes we're like, yes, we go at it for a year or two, and then we still don't know whether we finish it or what potentially could the outcome be. So tell us a little bit what we're looking at. So these are obviously all differently shaped. We recognize our friend here, T-Mark. He is the UTD one. What else am I looking here? So we already analyzed this one, right?
So I'll just start.
You arranged them all carefully. We should give this away, right? They didn't just end up here. There was like careful curating that went into this. This one was moved here, and so what we see is now the perfect arrangement of the perfect donuts, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I left some of all of our classics that are unfilled. I didn't bring any, but we also do have like glaze and chocolate and strawberry sprinkle and stuff like that. I brought the filled ones, and I brought our filled donuts and our custom donuts. Our filled donuts is truly like what we're known for. I use it as another vehicle other than just glaze to bring the flavor and more texture to the donut. So that's what's here, and I'll say what each flavor is. So this one is creme brulee donut. Yeah, it's got Bavarian cream inside, and it's torched sugar on top. This one is tiramisu. It's got espresso ganache, mascarpone cream, and dark chocolate with cocoa powder on top. And this one is fig and mascarpone. It's got mascarpone cream, honey, pistachio, and fig. So we have blueberry. So you kind of like get the idea. There's like filling in there too. So I'm not going to go over every donut.
No, don't, because one of my friends here just dropped the camera in between. So just slow it down here. They can barely hold themselves here.
So this one is the pink eclair. We have blueberry goat cheese, pistachio matcha, chocolate banana, and these are our monthly flavors: mango sticky rice, red bean and cream, and ube and cake. And yeah, we do.
So this is like the red bean is the one that the Asian one.
Yeah, and the mango sticky rice and the ube. And we do a lot of custom donuts. So I thought you guys should see the other T-Mock. It wasn't good, but this one was better. This one's great. It's super cute.
No, it's like, we have like the real T-Mark walking around here, and then we just had university graduation on Friday where T-Mark was in a drone show flying around, and now see him again on a donut, so he takes on various forms. Tell me something, I obviously have never made donuts, so, it's partly I understand about the ingredients, the spices, the cream. Is it about also, in order to get it right, is it about how you prepare the dough, how you whip the cream, or the ingredients, or what are the kind of critical things to make this, in your mind, as good as it can be?
I would say simple ingredients. Yeah. As you know, because I'm here for this reason, I did not major in like any. I didn't go to school for.
And you didn't go to donut school.
I didn't go to donut
no, okay,
school.
no donut school for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of did when you worked as a little girl in your parents.
Yes.
So
yeah.
that was your donut school, probably, right there.
But what I was trying to say is that one of the food philosophies that I like to display through Detour is that anybody can cook, you know, and anybody can make these things. And so I stick to like simple ingredients and fewer ingredients. And I find that generally to taste better, just for my palate, because then, you know, things are really straightforward and like, you know what you're tasting. And
do you have any favorites?
Of my donuts?
Not of you, but maybe like, you know, whatever, maybe you like orange glaze or maybe creme brulee or maybe cardamom, or do you have like ingredients that you find yourself like returning to over and over again?
Yeah, like I love whipping cream.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
And
now I'm glad that that's out. So
chocolate.
okay, and chocolate. Okay, then you're definitely in the right business. And does your family, are there the pre-testers that their daily assignment is, here I made 12 new ones, you guys have to try them all, or how does that work? You have a son, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love him so much. So
this is also part of your marketing strategy, that he goes to school and takes a plate like that always, and then at lunchtime he unpacks it and all the other kids are saying,
I don't know why I never thought of it.
Think it would work, you know?
He does appear on Instagram sometimes, and
Okay.
people will recognize him outside. So that was a little bit surprising, because he used to have this hair that was kind of long, like a mop head type of hair. And when he would go to places that are like closer to the store, or even sometimes in Dallas, like they'll recognize him. So yes, he used to appear on Instagram. A little bit, but nowadays not really. I don't post a lot of faces on Instagram anymore.
Well, we've all changed a little bit our behavior on social media, right, over the last couple. No, but I just thought surely, you know, that you just pack up a few of those to take to school to him.
Of course, yeah. We donate to his school for teachers' meetings and stuff all the time. And
so he also has very good grades, in other words? Is that what you're saying?
He just got his report card today. I was
that's
looking
right.
at.
It's a time now.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he did well. Yeah.
So when it comes to trying out new things, how does that work? I mean, you will have done, I don't know, any number of variations. So how do you come to like, okay, I want to try, is it like something that you experience elsewhere that you're eating, or you're going maybe to the market or something and you say, I could try this, or could try that, or how does it work?
Yeah, all the time I'm looking for new inspiration and new flavors. I think, you know, what are people talking about right now, or what do they miss that they don't know that they miss? You know.
Oh, tell us about that one. We want to. So, what people have missed right now that they don't know about, like in terms of taste?
Well, when I say that people miss stuff. So we have a lot of monthly flavors, and so like the mango sticky rice, for example, like people love that donut, but it only comes around once a year. So.
But that's also, I mean, in a way, clever marketing. Presumably, if you had it every day, then the hype wouldn't be quite as big, right?
For sure, yeah. So now the business has been open for about 7 years. It'll be 7 years in July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Time does pass.
I know. So I think my job has changed a little bit when it comes to what kind of flavors we bring in, because now that there are like customer favorite flavors that they look forward to. I feel like my job has changed a bit, right? Like
you also have to supply that on some level.
Yeah, my job is to like bring that back for them in, you know, in exactly the way they remember it, you know, to be. So yeah, I'm asking them all the time, you know, what do you want? Like, what, and they'll tell me, like they just tell me.
All right, I think we're coming to the part that, you know, I confessed early on I was waiting for, meaning we're trying it out now. Let's see. You probably, do you have a preference? Which one you?
Well, everyone's favorite, or like an all-time favorite.
All-time favorite?
Is the creme brulee.
Which was this guy here, right?
This one.
Oh, this one. Yeah. It looks terrible. You know, so let's roll this one around.
Okay. You want me to cut it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
And then we'll ask for close-ups with the cameras. We really want to... Oh my, this looks terrible. The cream in there, I'm telling you guys. See, there's silence right now, so they're terrific. Yeah, I'll take this one. All right, how about yourself?
Okay.
We can, I mean, there are what, 12 or 14 donuts. We can keep this up for another half an hour here or so, right? All right, guys. I eat it like this. Wow. That was that good. And it is sweet, but it's not like that bitey sweet, right? It's not like totally overloaded. You have a nice taste of the cream as well.
Yeah, I don't like too sweet.
Oh, guys, this is really good. The question is, we are doing a nice experiment right now. Now, I can tell you how delicious this is. The question is, how much of that joy can be actually communicated via pictures? So this is like the question here. Do you feel any of this tremendous sense of satisfaction that I do right now? Or I think they're getting angry with me right now because they feel that I'm torturing them. But it is a question, like how much can one sense be translated into other thing, right? There's a visual kind of joy of watching them. Wouldn't you think that they're, just look at them. I eat them, you know, but you look at them for a moment, right?
Well, there's a lot of food channels out there as well.
Wow. Really, like, I should probably interview you regularly. You know, this is, we should not, like, all right, we'll try one more. What do you think?
Well, we talked about the mango steak.
That sounds really interesting as well.
So, well, what are you interested in? Like, what's like a flavor that you've heard about before? Do you like tiramisu?
Everybody likes tiramisu. It's not. Yeah, we tried tiramisu.
That's also one that's really popular.
But I actually wouldn't mind. What did you say? So what was this one here? That's with the red bean. That's what I want to try.
Okay, there you go.
Red bean in a donut. Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, because it's that experience, right? Like you being curious about something and then trying.
Oh, I can do that. I can be curious for the next 2 hours here. That's easy.
Because I think that's the satisfaction that a lot of our customers get.
Well,
and on our website it says curiosity seeker.
All right.
Being a detourist.
Wow, they look fantastic. Well, that's also the beauty in a way of these donuts that, you know, when you see a traditional donut, you see it and you have immediately a good sense of what that will taste like, right? Mm-hmm. There's not a great deal of surprise in this, whereas with these you don't. Mm-hmm. You bite into it and you have, up until that moment, you really don't know how good this is.
Yeah. And you'll get that sense when you come to the store too, because the way I designed the inside of the store, I wanted to make sure that people wouldn't have, it doesn't look like a regular donut shop, you know. I wanted people to not really know what to expect, and that come through in, you know, all the ways.
That is delicious.
Oh, good.
I really like how that, wow, it really works well together, doesn't it? The red bean and the whipping
Oh,
cream.
red bean and cream is.
Wow. Of course, it works together, you know. All right. I think that brings us to our end of at least what we're recording right now. The rest would become embarrassing if we would keep the camera rolling. So we're just censoring a little bit the public here, but let there be no doubt. When we're done, they will be done here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much for having me.